that sounds like a great night.
It's like that kind of influences you a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's why you're up late, dude.
That'll do it.
That'll do it for sure. Yeah, man. I used to do that. Except I didn't do jazz. I did like Mozart and like classical music.
Still, I love that.
Yeah, it was. It's just like I found like listening to that type of music was good for me like back in pandemic days because it was like I feel like I was just listening to the same music over and over again. I couldn't do anything, so I was like living the same reality over and over again. And it was just like I need something that'll like make me think different thoughts.
Right.
So then I threw on some like Beethoven. Or,
You don't have to like. You don't have to think while you're listening to like classical or jazz, which is what I like. I don't know. The emotions that kind of come out of it, like you can just like feel whatever you want. With any music, but I feel like when there's lyrics involved, it's easier to kind of like take the lyrics that they're saying and you know relate with them more than how you would relate with yourself.
yeah.
And with jazz and like classical, especially like classical for real, I like that you don't have to think about what anyone's like saying actually verbally. You just hear it and you're like, whoa, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing I noticed when I was in like college, going into classical, because it made me think of classical. I liked that I could do my homework and listen to music
Yeah.
with that playing.
Yeah.
Classical especially, because sometimes even jazz gets a little wild.
Right, jazz. Because jazz, there are parts where it's meant to like grab your attention because the person is really feeling, you know, an ecstatic vibe while they're playing, and they want to express that. And so in those moments, that's when it really captures you, and it is beautiful in a sense. But
Absolutely.
But it feels like again, like classical is more about like keeping certain parts of your brain active while not fully like taking your mind to what that person was intending.
Yeah.
Where, it, like you said, is really more about turning in on yourself and like focusing on what you need to focus on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
That was like my favorite. When I was in college, I like remember just like listening to like I finally started listening to classical music when I did math homework, especially because I'm like, okay, your brain has to do these equations.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear any.
Right.
I don't know, anyone like saying anything vocally. You don't want to hear what they're portraying or what they're putting out there. But
Yeah, it's like when you're counting and someone's trying to mess you up, so they say other numbers while you're counting.
but also, I don't want it to just be like silence.
Yeah,
that's
true.
the ADHD in me. I'm like, I need some kind of sound.
Yeah, because if you're alone with your thoughts, just silence. So that's, you know, that doesn't help anything.
No work's gonna get done. I'm never gonna get anything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get more depressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, you ready to jump in, dude?
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So, ladies and gents, welcome back to Articulate. We have today Andrew Dipasquale. Is that how you say it?
Dipasquale.
Dipasquale. That's a fun name.
Maybe in the olden country it was Pasquale.
Oh yeah, that's how I wanted to say it so bad.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
But I don't go back into the olden country. It's fine.
Right.
I'm South Jersey trash.
Okay, they would accept you probably. Maybe. I mean,
maybe.
at least like, is it like Italian?
It's Italian. That's what I'm told.
So maybe like South Philly Italians would accept you. We don't know if actual Italians
sure,
would accept you. Yeah.
Yeah, they hear it as long as I pay with cash.
Right.
That's all I care about.
Yeah, exactly. But today we're here to talk a little bit about skate culture.
Skate culture.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this because you're a skater or were or are currently.
I was when I was like. I mean, like I'm a '90s kid and early 2000s, whatever.
True.
Tony Hawk, all the things. I started when I was like 10 years old.
Damn. Okay.
And I've always loved skating.
Yeah. What really like? I mean, when you were 10, was there a reason why you started doing it?
Honestly, this is the good thing about video games.
Yeah.
Right. It did start with Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly,
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
That's probably the first one for me. I know there was like 2 and 3, obviously.
Just
like a
but 4 is the most important one. Yeah.
And I remember just playing 4 all the time, and now I'm gonna get into video games, but like I was like kind of a gamer kid, but I'm happy with skateboarding because that was kind of me going outside. I just want to be like cool, like the people that I'm playing at the games.
Yeah. Skaters are so cool, dude.
Yeah, it was cool. And honestly, I picked the coolest one to look up to back in those days.
Yeah.
Bam Margera.
Bam, dude. Yeah.
Bam Margera, the coolest one.
Yeah. You gotta hold this.
Oh,
keep
sorry.
this up. No, you're good. I appreciate the
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
that was the coolest guy to look up to back in the day. So
Yeah. Damn, yeah. That was. How did you find him? Was it through like the MTV scene or?
Tony Hawk, Viva La Bam,
Viva
like
La
all that
Bam.
dumb shit. Him going in and making pranks to his dad and all that stuff. But his skateboarding is what we're talking about.
Right.
I loved it. I loved watching him and just like everybody in the games. And then I got like a skateboard for Christmas from like Walmart that like couldn't even go down the street.
Right.
And I'm really happy. I remember telling my dad, like, hey, if I can, like, get good on the skateboard, can we get, like, a band board one day? Like, maybe on my birthday or something, I'll get a band board.
Yeah.
And one day he came home from work, and I had the skateboard, like, on the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And I just ran out on the front porch and just jumped the stairs right away. And I was like, can we please get this band board? So, yeah. I always liked
Did you get the band board?
I got the band board.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. So you've always been into it. And even like crappy skating. Dude, well, let's get this. This is the part that I do, right? The part that I did a little, dude, back in, skating started from like surfing back in like the 50s. They called it land surfing, right? But
Sidewalk surfing.
Sidewalk surfing, exactly. So in the 60s, that was like kind of the first boom because that was when it like fully got established, but there was such a wave with it that manufacturers actually couldn't keep up with the amount of popularity that skateboarding was gaining. And here's the other thing. You want to talk about shitty skateboards. They were using clay wheels back in the day, dude. They were just so bad. And that's why, like, the technology couldn't keep up with, like, the first wave of it. And so then it just kind of died out again. But imagine, you just imagine, like, that being, like, a new innovation and, like, a huge thing, like a cultural boom. Or even if you're a skater and or a surfer and you get really into skating. And then you're just like, damn, dude, I can't even get a new board. My board broke like it broke like yesterday when I tried one trick, and now it's like
that's the culture of it too. Like, you're like getting your new shit like right away.
Yeah.
I could definitely never surf too, so I can only imagine. Like, I think that's cool that it came from that too. Like, I could never surf. Snowboarding, I'm horrible at.
Yeah.
I thought just being a skater, I was good at that. Also, like vert skating and shit. Like trying to be like a surfer with it. I wasn't good at the bowls and anything like that.
Yeah. Well, that's where it started, man. And but I mean, they're all kind of related. I think it's the same center of balance, but they are all like a different skill, man. And like each one is so difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you'd pick up surfing easier than I would because I don't even skate. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I
don't know.
True. Never say never.
I couldn't even do the, what's the board that you throw out into the light waves? Not waves yet?
Yeah, like the wave board or whatever.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, water is a whole other element that you're throwing into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Concrete I can control, you know, even if there's like a crack in the ground. I'm like, okay, we can like try that trick again and again over this. Not the waves.
Yeah. I feel that. Well, so then past that, the 60s was first boom, and then there was another boom in the 70s once they finally got better wheels for it and everything. But there were still big liabilities within skate parks, and I mean, at that point, it was being treated more, less of a toy and more like a sport. But then at that point, BMX biking and roller skating kind of became the big thing and took over and made the other wave of skating go down again until, but it actually kind of helped it in this way because as it receded, people, skate parks actually got bulldozed and it wasn't as big anymore. And this is when people just took it on their own to make like ramps in their backyard and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And just like, and that's kind of where I kind of relate to it a little bit too, because in the same way that you probably were, where it was almost like an isolation type of thing, where it's like, all right, I got nothing to do. The kids in the neighborhood are skating, and they're what I considered to be the cool kids. You know what I mean?
Did you have parks like in your neighborhood growing up?
No, they just would pull out maybe those little plastic ramps, like the little X with the X on the side. I don't know what that is. Or just like, I mean, one time there was like a moving truck parked in their driveway, and he like climbed on the moving truck and tried to land coming down off of the off of the roof of it. He didn't. He got hurt quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's actually one thing I wanted to talk with you a lot about skating is, I mean, how much pain do you think goes into like pain tolerance?
A
And
lot
like,
of it.
yeah,
And that's what's cool about like the Tony Hawk thing. I was like, oh wow, that's one thing I didn't realize in the video games. I'm like, okay, like you can just do these things over and over again, and you don't eat shit.
right, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
You eat a lot of shit, which is awesome. And
The Hall of Meat.
I will say this.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older,
Yeah.
it definitely hurts a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
I'm
that.
very happy with how I did it when I was younger. I think you just like eat shit and you're like totally cool with it.
Yeah,
I miss that. I like the fun of it of just like your clothes are all bloody.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
that's like the whole day.
yeah, dude. Before I started rock climbing recently, and before that, I was like, damn, dude, when was the last time I wore like a Band-Aid? Like, I didn't need to wear a Band-Aid for it. Like, that was like what was fun about being a kid, dude. Is like you just get
Wait,
scratches.
in general, you just haven't worn a Band-Aid?
Well, I haven't like I hadn't like scratched myself in so long. You know, it was just like little.
Oh,
like,
damn, you're delicate.
I know. I am delicate, but no, but like seriously, like that's part of what I think draws people to skateboarding is that like there is like actual physical risk to
Yeah.
it, and like in that sense is like I don't know, maybe that's it. That part of the culture is what drew a lot of kids who, you know, didn't feel like they wanted to live like a normal, you know, buttoned up life.
Yeah.
They wanted to go out and get like, yeah, I want like the hardcore nature of like,
It's fun, dude.
Yeah.
And like it's going outside, and it's also like I didn't really do a lot of sports. I didn't do like baseball. I did like baseball, but it doesn't matter. I did like baseball and basketball and stuff when I was a kid, but like I wasn't like in sports.
right,
I love skating because that was like my team, you know. Like
Yeah.
it also taught me like camaraderie. It
Yeah.
taught me friendship. Dare I
Friendship.
say it? Now I'm delicate. Dare I
Yeah.
say it? But like,
yeah,
no, it's cool. And like we all stuck together, and you hit a spot, and you just like don't stay there until one person's done what he wants to do, and everyone has their different goals, and
right.
everyone has I don't know.
It's a real community of,
Yeah.
of people trying to accomplish, you know, or to craft their skill basically,
Yeah.
and really get better at
Yeah.
a thing together.
And it kind of it kind of reminds me a lot of comedy too,
Yeah.
because it's like, you know, being with people that actually are like, okay, I know what you're doing wrong or doing right. You know,
Right.
they're next to you, being like, hey, listen, like, great effort. You got this. You're gonna land this trick, but like, you should probably do this more. Like,
Right.
bend your knees, or, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel that camaraderie the same way, you know, as I get older and don't jump stairs as much anymore.
right.
Yeah.
yeah. It is definitely comedy is a little bit more tame.
Yeah. Yeah.
But dude, that's what I went to the skate park this summer a few times, and I'm like, this is what comedians wish they were doing. You know what I mean? Like the punk rock, like type of, like this is what we're actually out here. Because comedy is scary for sure, but
Yeah.
in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not physically, but it is emotionally.
Yeah. Well, it's still.
Challenging.
I feel that kind of pit in my stomach in the same way that like I would walk up to a set when I, you know, a stair set,
Right. Yeah.
a set.
A set,
But I walk up to a set and be like, all right, like, you look at it, you analyze it. You're like, can I actually jump this?
Yeah.
You know, you might ride up to a couple times and not even actually physically do it yet. You're like, okay, do I think I got this?
Yeah.
And then you try it a few times, still don't even land it. But you're like, all right. Like, I'm taking off the ground. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of things relate. There's definitely levels to it like that.
Yeah, definitely.
That I
man.
love.
But kind of going back to the community aspect of it a little bit. Have you ever seen there's two kind of movie things that I wanted to relate to. This one was mid-90s. You ever seen mid-90s before?
No.
Jonah Hill actually directed it, but it's a movie about a little kid kind of growing up and getting introduced into the skating scene with like people nearby. Like he just, it's funny because he has a fucked up family life, which I think again is a common factor for a lot of skaters.
Okay.
But you know he's kind of he feels like he deserves pain for some reason because his dad's not in the picture. His brother hates him. There's a whole thing going on.
Right.
So he's like like maybe like an 8-year-old out on the streets just kind of wondering what he should do for the summer, and he sees like kids squirting like water guns at each other, like laughing, having a good time. And then he sees like a group of kids like kind of skating, and then people walk by and like, hey, fuck you, just like laughing and like ha 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 or whatever, just kind of like the outcast kids, right? And so he's just like, I'm gonna go over that way and see what's going on.
More badass ones.
Yeah. And what's funny is his name was Stevie too, you know. So like,
you love this movie.
I love this movie, dude, so much. But again, a lot of it was like these kids had terrible home lives, or they just wanted to get out, or they had nothing better to do, and again, that kind of buttoned up. There is a sense of cheese, you know what I mean, to having like laughing friends squirting water at each other, you know what I mean. But like again, going through like an actual a way to channel some of your anger or feelings of isolation into me, this board, and this thing I'm trying to accomplish on this board.
Yeah,
you know. And you know, it is about isolation, but when you find other people that feel the same way, like I mean, there's just so much like to connect on in that sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you're doing it.
And like the adrenaline of just doing the dumbest shit ever.
Right.
Like,
well, and it's so strange. Going back to like the BAM thing, is like we want to do like punk shit. You know what I mean? We used to do pranks with that same group of people that we would skate with. We'd go do pranks, ding dong ditching. You know what I mean? Blowing up like water, like Axe spray cans, shit like that. Yeah.
And there is like, it's funny now actually that there's like that. What am I trying to think of? Like, there's like that. That image of skateboarding, like being like a badass, you know?
Yeah.
Like even now, 20 years old, like skating down the street, I feel like people still are looking like, oh man, like this guy's gonna fuck some shit up or he's gonna break something. Or like, oh man, I hope he doesn't spray paint. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that all ties into it. It's not that at all. It's funny.
Well, it kind of is the thing. Like, well, and so that's what, like, you know, again, is that time when it kind of receded and people still really wanted to do this thing. They felt even more like outcasts because, like, oh, skating's going nowhere. You know what I mean? It doesn't have a path. It doesn't have like football or baseball. And yeah, not to talk shit about those things, but you can at least maybe get a scholarship or something with those things.
Yeah.
Skating now, actually, there are more opportunities with it, but you know, through this time period, there really wasn't a lot that could be done with that skill.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was always kind of this like, oh, these kids are just, they're going nowhere. They're, you know, they don't want to do anything actually productive. They just want to be out on their boards doing nothing.
And it's not like you just like go to school for it.
Yeah.
True. I mean, not that you go to school for football.
Right.
But like you have scouts and people picking you out. Well, I don't know. Like,
football is school related a lot of the times. That's where you start practicing and meet other footballers, you
know. Skating, definitely not. I mean, obviously, I've never been a pro skateboarder before, but dude, like, it is not like that at all.
Yeah, it's way different, man.
Also, it's crazy too, thinking that like, I was just thinking like after high school, the only sport that I did was cross country.
Oh, really?
I'm just thinking of like getting done cross country and being in the parking lot with my skater friends and my coach just being like, "You're insane, dude. Like, how are you like running and skating?" But I don't know.
Yeah. It's just a completely different world out there, man.
Yeah, it really is.
And again, that's what we love about it, though. You know what I mean? So I mean, and
that's your day. Like that's what you just do all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The dedication that it takes to be a good skater, man. Mm-hmm. Like to do just like an ollie or a kickflip. How long did it take you to get a kickflip?
Dude, I'm gonna sound horrible, but it was like a whole year. Like I got a skateboard like when I was 10 years old, and I actually, you were talking earlier about like just like seeing the kids like off in the distance, not doing the squirting guns, but like skating and stuff.
Yeah.
Right down the street from my house was the parking lot.
Nice.
So I got this board, and I would always see kids skating, and I was like, I'm not gonna leave this porch until I learn how to do a kickflip.
Yeah.
I just sat there trying it again, and yeah, it was probably a year. I was young, but it was probably a year of just sitting there flicking it, and
yeah, man. I mean, it's not easy. Like, Tony Hawk even says now, where he's just like, when people are like, do a kickflip, like as a meme, is like there's still the pressure in his head, like, am I gonna do this kickflip?
Yeah. Yeah, that pressure definitely goes in my head too. I'm like, oh man, am I gonna land it?
Yeah.
It's like a young kid. Sometimes it's like a guy like with his young kid. He's like, yo, do it for him. I'm like, what? That's so much pressure. That's so much pressure.
Yeah, being able to do it for a kid.
I just ride. Like now, I love riding it. Like we're in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I love just going up and down Pine and Spruce. If you live on Pine and Spruce, you probably see me. Causing a ruckus.
Right.
But I like it because that's all I get to do is do the ollie over the gutter.
Yeah.
Or like the ollie up the curb. Or
Yeah.
like my badass thing now is like, okay, I'm in the bike lane, there's like a UPS truck. And I'm like, okay, cool, watch this. You know,
Yeah.
and I look around, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Right.
Ollie up the curb, ollie back down.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's, it's cool. And like instead of like having a whole a line like when you're skating, like that's your line. You
Right.
you ride in, you do your tricks, whatever. Your line, your setup.
Mm-hmm.
Now my line is just up and down Spruce. That's it.
Yeah.
And when little things like that happen, I'm like, oh, here I go. Okay, manhole's coming. Better jump over it. You know.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
No, man. I mean, that's
It is. I love it.
It's so cool.
It's
Yeah.
not cool. Like I mean, like it's cool, but like I'm not a pro at all. I'm not like jumping over stairs anymore. But it's cool.
But I mean, you're doing it because you love it. You know, it's not about about being a professional. It's being like,
Absolutely.
I've learned these skills because I can't do any of those things. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? It's like I've learned these skills, and like I'm not showcasing for anybody, but all that hard work I'm about to showcase for myself right now. You know?
And for all my wellness friends, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is my cardio.
Yeah.
You guys ride your bikes. I'm like, I'm skating.
That's true. It is hard, man.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of people don't think about how hard skating is. Like if you're out there all day practicing one trick, or even going from location to location, just different skate parks, or seeing where you can go.
Jump up and down. Like just do that. Like not even forget the skateboard. Like just jump up and down for hours all day.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Tired, right? Now put the board under it.
Yeah,
Like yeah.
No, it's crazy. So much.
That was so fun. And also, shout out to BMX bikers. I just want to say that because I could never even try to do that. I being a skater kid, whatever. Skaters and bikers, we always hung out a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you have scooters, we don't hang out with you.
Yeah.
And you got to be really good on the inline. Yeah,
Discriminating the scooter gang? Dude? Come on.
I have to, unless you're doing some like whatever his name is, Oliver Tree shit. Like if you're doing some backflips, whatever, with parachute pants and shit. Okay, but no. The scooters, that wasn't cool.
That wasn't, dude. But you didn't even see how scratched up my ankles got when your scooter, like.
Oh, you did the scooter thing?
When the scooter came up, I didn't even try to do the scooter thing. But it's like if you
just did the scooter thing.
Yeah, I had a scooter, like, and I would use it. And sometimes, dude, those things just smack your ankles, dude. They come around and they'll scratch you up, dude.
I had the scooter and I would use it.
Yeah,
it was like a weapon.
Yeah.
Was it the razor?
The razor, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Except
what else was there?
Yeah, but we spray painted all black and everything.
Oh, you got to.
You got to. You know what I mean? If I'm hanging out with skaters.
You would have been cool. Yeah. You would have been allowed. You would have been allowed.
I would've been
Into my little clique of 14-year-olds learning how to kickflip. You would have been allowed.
Yeah, exactly, man. And you guys are like doing actual things that could break bones, but my ankles are at stake, man. Like, I'm done. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tricky. You know what I mean?
No, I agree, man. I agree. I could never. And I like, dude. No, for real though. Like scooters, bikes, skaters, we all agree.
Mm-hmm.
When anything hits that part of your ankle.
Oh yeah.
Or your shin, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, when that happens,
it's so bad. Because it's like right next to your bone, man.
Yeah. It is your bone.
I don't want to see that at all. Yeah.
I'm a skinny boy. You're a skinny boy too.
Yeah.
Like,
They'll pop out.
It hurts.
They'll pop out. Yeah.
And honestly, now the truth comes out. I've never seen bones. I've broken bones. I've never seen a bone pop out.
Okay. No, that's good. That's
yeah. I'm like, the truth here.
The truth hurts. No, the truth. In this case, the truth does not hurt.
You're not a true skater. You're not a true scooter guy. Man.
Yeah.
You've never seen your bone. Never seen your bone pop out.
Yeah. I actually have never broken a bone. Never
Ever?
broken a bone. Gang. Yeah.
Ever?
Never once. No. I'm pretty. I drink a lot of milk. I got strong bones. What do you want me to say?
Wait, I have so many questions. Is the milk thing a real thing? We're not even drinking real milk. Wait, you're lying.
You're lying right now. Yeah, no, milk is bad. Yeah. No, I just never broken a bone.
Never
before.
broke a bone.
No, I just like, I don't know. I worked a lot and I didn't. At some point I stopped doing like my sports thing.
You made it sound like you were too busy to break a bone.
I'm too busy to break a bone, dude.
You're like,
Exactly.
I work a lot. I don't even know who has the time.
Yeah. Who has the time to break bones these
I don't
days?
have health insurance, so
Yeah.
I can't break a bone.
I can't break a bone. I can't put myself through that, Yeah, as much as I want to. As much as I want to be like a hardcore person.
Yeah.
I just can't do it,
Let's be real.
Let's break a bone right now. Go for it.
Could you imagine if it happened so easily? I'm like, you don't drink milk.
Yeah. I can't. Oh, God.
No,
That's
first bone I ever broke was a toe.
Okay.
A big toe.
Oh, the big one.
The big one.
That's the big one.
The big one.
Yeah.
The big toe on the left.
Yeah. Was it from skating?
I wanted that to be the whole thing.
That
would have
been cool. Yeah, that would have been cool.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm not interested. Why? I don't want to hear the story.
Yeah, I'm done. Break a bone, Steve. Break a bone.
Break a leg.
Please, for me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll try. Like I said, I got the rest of my entire life.
Please.
What if my first bone broken is like my hip at age 80?
From skating.
From skating? Damn, that would be cool.
You're like, you know what? Fuck it, guys. You're 80 years old. You're like, I'm doing it. I'm starting a new hobby again.
Right. Yeah.
I am going to be that skater guy.
Yeah, why not, dude? At age
scooter.
80. True. Scooter, bring it back, man. And I'll remember all the
At
skills.
80, you're bringing something back.
Yeah, definitely, man. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll break a bone this year. That's my New Year's resolution.
We will see how it goes. I'm going to be there.
Okay.
I'm going to be there when you're 80.
I used to have Heelys. Heelys were my big thing, dude.
They were your big thing?
They were my big thing for a while. Yeah, I was good at healing. I'm still good at it, if I'm being honest.
Dude, we're sitting here talking about the skating culture.
We're missing out
the
on
Heely culture. That changed the game.
Yeah.
I am not good at Heelys.
Really?
Never was, never will be.
Wow.
No.
Yeah. It is a different skill, man.
Dude, that's a whole different... My little... Oh, man. My little sister. Shout out. My little sister.
Right.
Olivia Dipasquale.
Olivia
Dude,
Dipasquale.
she was Heely queen, man. And when I say that, she just never gave up.
Oh, wow.
That's
She
what I
still
mean.
Heelys to this
That's
day.
what, yeah. My dad was like, "That's dumb." When they first came out, Journeys.
Yeah.
My dad was like, "That's dumb. It's a dumb invention." I was right by his side. I'm like, "That's dumb. It's not skateboarding."
And I'm not
cooler."
sure. I guess it's probably generally known, but for those who don't know, Heelys are just shoes that have a wheel in the back.
Yeah. I thought that was
Generally known.
Yeah, I thought it was generally known. You're right. I don't even. Yeah, the Heelys are shoes that have heels. My shoes all untied and shit.
Yeah.
That have heels. The wheels on the heels.
In the back of them. Yeah, wheels
on the heels.
So they're
called Heelys.
Heelys. Yeah, exactly. Crazy,
dude.
Crazy stuff. man.
My dad thought my little sister was an idiot. Dude, and she was, man. She had scabs all on her knees.
See, that's what I'm talking about. All the Band-Aids and
Yeah.
scabs. I've been missing out on those, man.
We're not that is that a generational thing? Is that just my little sister?
I think it's kids, man. I think
It's kids. Were we
yeah.
we were kids?
that's
we
what
all
I-
were kids at one point,
Yeah.
but
Well, that's what I was saying. Is like before I started climbing this last year, I didn't have any scratches, bruises, scrapes, any of this stuff, man. But I miss it. Like
all
that's
from
like
climbing.
Yeah.
You
Well,
got your first
I get it
Band-Aid
now.
from climbing.
I got my first Band-Aid. No. But yes, since
first Band-Aid.
but since I was Helian back in the day, I used to get scratched. I got scars on my legs and knees still from
Now?
that period. Yeah.
From the Heely period.
Yeah, from the Healy period, dude.
So you weren't good at it.
No, I was good, but it takes hard work to get good at it. You think I just was, amazing automatically?
Once you got good at it, though, I was envious, man.
Oh, really?
You went down the hallways with it.
Oh, big time, pal. Yeah, teachers tried to stop me and just Healy right past me.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were, dude. That's cool.
It was
like
fun.
that's fucking.
It's
cool.
more funny than anything. I don't think it's
It's
cool.
funny,
It doesn't take that
but
much.
it's even funnier how cool it was. Because like when I picture Heelys, I'm in middle school, right? I'm
Yeah.
thinking of like people with the Heelys,
True.
and it was cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Just
Like
going
you just
for it.
pop them out. it was so cool, dude.
Yeah, what a strange part because I feel like Heelys were supposed to be directed towards skating culture.
Yeah.
And I don't think they really clicked.
Here's when they didn't click. When people tried to use them on ramps.
Oh yeah.
Remember the black ramps you talked about earlier,
yeah,
the
yeah.
X Factor ramps?
Right.
Heely that shit.
Yeah, and it didn't work at all.
No.
Yeah, the ramp would just push farther away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember people on said ramps, the black X Factor ramps.
Yeah, you know
that were barely even good for bikes. Yeah. That was like my first bike jump. I know exactly what the ramp is. The only my first grass gap, you know, it's like you put it up to your sidewalk and just try and get over grass. Anyway, yeah, people would drop in on Heelys with that. Not me.
Right. Not me, of course.
But not me. But people would try to do that. Oh, man.
Didn't
Wow.
get that far.
This is before also, I just thought about another really funny thing.
Yeah.
As far as like skate culture, especially with the Heelys.
Yeah.
What's the rip stick?
Ripsticks. Those are still big. Those are
They're still
recent.
big?
Yeah, I think so. Among children. I don't
Right.
use
I
them,
mean,
but,
we
yeah.
live in the city where people are just on permanent ripsticks, just
Ripsticks.
like getting to their 9 to 5s.
Yeah. It's kind of sick. They're kind of, I think ripsticks
They are
cool.
kind of sick.
Yeah.
And people doing the drop in, which, by the way, again, I'm not a pro skateboarder or anything, but like that was one of the hardest things the whole time I skated.
Yeah.
10 years old, like end of high school, you know, and then other things happened.
Right.
I got distracted.
You got
in
a
high
little
school.
distracted.
A little
right?
distracted.
Yeah.
But dropping in, oh man, that was like the biggest thing to overcome. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I was at Jersey, Morristown Mall, shout out,
Right.
in the skate park, and it was like my birthday. And I was like, like 12 years old or something.
Yeah. Big milestone.
That's a big thing to do. That's a big milestone.
Yeah, what are the milestones of skating, think? Starting,
Well, the first one for sure, all right, kick flipping on the porch.
kick flipping on the
For me, kick
Right,
flipping on
right.
the porch. I think these are also milestones in skating. Learn how to push it, ollie, kick flipping, jumping stairs, the drop in.
drop in, is that after ollie and
Yeah,
kick flip?
yeah.
Okay.
Ollie in and kick flipping. Yeah, that's like the groundwork, the flat ground
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're actually at a skate park, and it's like a roller coaster. I mean, now you got your board on the top of the ramp, and you got to drop in.
You got to drop in. That's so scary.
And you're bringing me back. You cracked me open, Steve.
You
but,
unzip me.
You unzipped me.
You unzipped me.
Yeah.
But I just remembered that it was my birthday, however many years old, 12, whatever. Shaggy taught me how to drop in.
Shaggy.
Just picture that. Just without even describing what this guy looks like. Shaggy taught me how to drop in, okay?
Classic.
Shaggy taught me how to drop
That's
in.
awesome.
And this guy was totally like, probably, I don't know, 20-something years old,
Yeah.
works at the skate park.
yeah.
Working some 12-year-old's birthday party. You can do it, man. I'm sitting there probably shaking, like, missing my pants. Like, I don't know if I can. Knee pads or whatever. Like, oh, man. That's the biggest milestone.
That is the biggest
Other
one.
than, like, jumping stuff and being cool and, like, you know, in middle school with, like, those kids.
Yeah.
That's, like,
Dropping in.
Yeah,
Damn,
that's the
'cause
biggest
you're dropping into
milestone.
the skate culture at
Yeah.
that point. That's crazy. That's like the first, like that's like the halfway point, and then the second part. After you drop in, then that's like the second life of your skating career.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah.
But like up
it's like
to
your
that
first
point,
open mic.
right?
Like, you practice, you got on the board.
You're funny around other people. You know,
Yeah.
you've landed jokes, and now
You've-
it's time to
You
get
got-
real.
Your sister saw you land a kick flip. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
she thinks you're funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're good. Go up.
Oh man, and then you're really into it.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
I love relating the skating into comedy.
And
It's
comedy.
funny.
Well, yeah, comedy relates to everything. Dude, you can't believe I've so many comics on here, and we always talk about non-comedy, but it always comes back to comedy.
Well, that's I like that. That's what it should do. You know,
Yeah.
it gives me closure because I'm like, well, I don't skate anymore.
But at least I do have this one thing.
Yeah, I'm like, there is something else I'm trying to get really good at.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's cool. So you got the milestones. Let me see if there's anything
Milestones of Shaggy teaching me how to drop in.
else. Okay, so
You unzip me with that one for sure.
just to kind of wrap up the history here, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, there were waves, there were 4 big waves, right? And then by the time the mid 90s came around, that was when MTV started getting really good. Viva La Bam, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Dude, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
Yeah.
And X Games is when they actually kind of put it on like a screen for everybody to watch. And that was like the big kind of movement. So, of course, there's still waves that come and go with the popularity of skating now.
Yeah.
But, you know, as opposed to before where, and it's still kind of looked down upon in some industries, but there is more of a carved out path if you wanted to be a professional skater or if you wanted to be a, work at a skate shop, start your own, skateboard business or whatever. I don't even know what those things are, but there's magazines related to it now, video games, movies, documentaries, there's X Games, all these things, man. And it's, I'm glad
I'm sorry, Steve. There was also like Hawk Boom Jam.
What's that?
That was like Tony Hawk's, like X Games.
Yeah,
pretty much back in the day, like in the '90s when Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. And so I just want to bring that up. Like, I don't know, it's just cool. Like when that was around, I remember reading about how it might be in the Olympics one day.
Yeah.
That was like a thing, like, oh, maybe in 2024 or whatever, it'll be in the Olympics.
I think it was in the Olympics.
It's in the Olympics.
Yeah, wow. It's
Like,
finally reached like a point where it can be appreciated for what it actually is,
Because all there was the X Games. Like,
Yeah.
there's definitely more outlets and things you can do with it. And I don't know. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Just like and like skate culture is just so opening too. It's just it's cool.
Well, it's a very open community, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying for kids that like you and I who didn't want to be inside, wanted to get outside, and kind of looked up to these people. They are very accepting a lot of time.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they all have their flaws. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? As we all do. But like, if they see you land something, they'll be like, "Good job, man." Like even I didn't know anybody. I told you I went down to the skate park a couple times over the summer just to like watch because I missed it. And people would come up to me while I was watching. I'd bring out like a journal or something just to kind of fuck around down there.
Yeah.
And they'd just be like, "Hey man, how's it going? Can you hand me that water bottle?" And be like, "Yeah." They talk to me, tell me what they've been doing for a little bit, and it was just a very open and accepting community, And then one time I walked down there just randomly on a Saturday, and the huge festival at the FDR skate park.
FDR is so sick,
Dude, it's so cool.
It's so sick.
Yeah, it's really it's
Especially being a young Jersey kid too.
Yeah.
Like you want to talk about FDR, like that was so intimidating to me. I mean,
I bet.
that is, dude, like that is hardcore skating. It's
Yeah.
like vert ramps and it's street, and that's again going back to BAM. Like when I was younger, I'm like, oh man, that's where BAM's at all the time. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Is that where he was?
Yeah, that's like his park. BAM was there all the time.
Wow.
FDR, the skate videos I watched, and Tony Hawk was always like BAM, just like skating there. And dude, oh man, this is funny. Like being a South Jersey kid. Shout out to these Philly skaters, dude. They could smell it on me. They could smell
They
it
knew.
on me, dude. Because I've always loved this city, and I've always loved coming here to skate. And I would go to places like Love Park and FDR, and they would smell it on me. They would just be like, "Go back to Jersey." They could tell because which is cool. Like it's cool. I'm not hating, Even though I just talked about like, oh, skateboarding, they bring people in. It's really, but what's cool about it is that's their spot. What's cool about it is like they go there every day. That's why they can see it on me.
Yeah.
That's where they go every day. They're trying something. They're hanging out.
It's their community.
It's their community, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about a skate park in general. And FDR is like definitely one of the coolest ones. And to get away from the people like not harassing me all the time when I wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Me and my buddies would get to FDR at like 6 in the morning.
Oh wow, 6 in the morning. That's dedication.
I mean, I'm sitting here like drinking a coffee at 12. I'm like, Steve, this is early for me.
Yeah.
6 in the morning, just to go there and skate. I mean, have the whole park to ourselves.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like the king of the world.
Man, that would be that dude. Like with the sun coming up, it's just you and your boys out there, and just like feeling the breeze, through.
And let's be real. Like we'd skate for probably like an hour of it,
Yeah.
and then just burn trash or something.
Oh yeah. Do arson. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
that was my
yeah.
favorite event.
There it is.
Skate
Yeah,
culture. My favorite part of skate culture was the arson of it all.
I wish that was the whole conversation of skate
just
culture.
arson, yeah.
Like, yeah, man, I was 10 years old. I started burning stuff. I was burning stuff on my porch. The kids across the street, they were burning stuff.
I'm telling you, blowing up these axe bottles, dude.
I got really good at burning stuff.
I got really, dude. There's a lot more skill that goes into burning stuff than you might think.
Shaggy on my 12th birthday.
He taught me.
He taught me how to really burn stuff.
To collapse a structure. He taught me to do it from the inside out.
Picture this, Shaggy
Yeah.
burning stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
Then Heelys came out. We were just burning stuff down the hallways.
Yeah, down the hall. We were burning schools down.
Teachers didn't care. Oh man. That's skate culture.
That's skate
all your
culture.
notes too. You're like, oh man, did you hear like 1950s? They started burning stuff. California, they were burning stuff.
Oh, they're still burning stuff. In
Fire
California.
came to the East Coast eventually. They were burning stuff. That's skate
the
culture.
whole. That is skate culture, dude.
It's fun.
But yeah, man. I mean, I just want to wrap it up saying kind of that. I'm glad that skate again, while some of the culture in the industry is still kind of looked upon as like a, kind of a dark thing or has the potential to lead to negative outcomes or whatever.
Yeah.
It has been at least glorified to the extent where they recognize it in the Olympics, and again, there's more opportunities within skating for people to make a life and career out
There's
of it. And
actual
everything.
professionalism to it for sure.
Yeah. And so it's just awesome to kind of catch the back end where we get a little bit of closure with that, as
Yeah.
opposed to, and I'm sure this is what kids growing up in the 70s and 80s wanted to see,
Yeah.
come from it. So, yeah, man, it's really cool.
Imagine when you were just like riding down the sidewalk and you had no idea this is what it was going to become.
Coming from clay wheels to where we are now in the Olympics, dude.
But Heelys have so much.
They have so much to go.
Room.
Yeah, there's so much room to grow.
2030, man.
That's
Heelys
what
in the
2030 we'll reconvene when Heelys join the Olympics, dude.
I
We'll
wanna
do another
see some
podcast.
guy
man.
on a giant ramp, like about to drop in, just on Heelys.
That dude, the drop in
Doing
on
some
Heelys.
Bob Burnquist shit, just like
Yeah.
on Heelys.
Yeah. Damn, that'd be so cool.
I'm ready.
All right, dude. Well, Andrew Dipasquale, we've got your Instagram up here. Let me get you the.
Oh, you're a sweetheart.
Follow him on Instagram at DIPASQUALEISFUNNY.
You're a
Dipasquale
sweetheart.
is funny, and he is funny. And yeah, man, you got anything else you want to promote, or come see him at work, dude?
Nothing. Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you where I work.
Okay, true. We got a new email address at it's articulate@gmail.com if you want to send anything in. It's always fun. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming out, making the effort, and
I love this, dude.
yeah, I hope you've had fun.
I did. I really like this a lot.
Okay, dude.
you unzipped me, man.
You unzipped. All right, dude.
Cheers.